Well, hello and welcome to another live stream of XP12. Bit of a different one for me. Those who've watched the channel before will know that I'm flying the Challenger 650 normally. As part of the Black Friday deals, I managed to snag myself a Toliss Airbus A321 Neo. So the A321 is what we're flying today. And we're flying it in the UK from Liverpool, Echo Golf, Golf Papa, to Edinburgh, Echo Golf Papa Hotel. It's been a bit of a windy day in the UK today, particularly around this area of the world. Manchester and Birmingham had dreadfully gusty winds as part of Storm Pia. Some very interesting landings in real life going on here today. It's calmed down a little bit now, I'm delighted to say, so we haven't got quite so traumatic a condition. So let's get down to our aircraft. On the ground here at Liverpool, that's Liverpool City over there. We see the cathedral, River Mersey, beautiful part of the world, if you like music particularly, because that's where, of course, the Beatles came from, amongst many other people. This is our Toliss A321. All these lorries lined up was me just trying out the ground handling plugin, which seems to be working okay, but I'm going to leave it for now. But they are still making quite a racket, these lorries all around the aircraft. We are here on the tarmac though, we're plugged in, the ground power unit is connected there, as you can see at the front. And let's get inside the cockpit and get going. So, I'm just going to turn down the sim for a second to get rid of this noise. So inside the cockpit you can see we've got our usual VR stuff up. We've got Avatab here, we have got our checklist here, X checklist. We've got the Toliss ISCS control panel here, we've got VATSIM over here, and we've actually already received our clearance from VATSIM, which was rather nice. As soon as I logged on they gave me a PDC clearance, which is rather good. So that's all excellent. I'm just going to just acknowledge them. Just to give him a little message back to make sure he's understood that we got that clearance. Okay, so what we're going to do first of all is get the ground power connected up onto the aircraft. Now, I'm not an Airbus expert by any stretch of the imagination. That's probably an understatement. But we'll do our best for you here today. Batteries on, crew supply on, ground control on, and we'll get the navs aligning. 1, 2 and 3. We'll get the seatbelt sign on, no smoking sign to auto, emergency exit armed. We'll get the nav and logo lights on. Should do us for now, I think. Right. So let's move on then with our checklists, which these are great checklists. I've amended one of the checklists I found online, and basically they'll tick off things that you've already done. So it's done all of these already. APU, we're going to get going. On. Give it a few seconds and start. That's it coming up here now, and we'll monitor that. So APU master switch as needed, that's on. APU start, crossbleed switch, seatbelt signs, APU bleed we will do in just a moment. So, we also have on board, for those who've seen the stream before, our splendid program which allows us to actually write stuff in the VR realm onto an actual tablet. There it is. It's called Open Kneeboard, and not only does it allow me to write stuff on it, it also allows me to bring other applications into the cockpit in VR, which is a real godsend. And Navigraph charts in this case. Navigraph charts does seem to impact a little on VR using Open Kneeboard. It drags it down by about 4 or 5 frames per second, so we won't have it open all the time. But here we are anyway. We're on stand number 52. As we can see straight ahead of us here. So what we can do is, just to show you, we can write that down onto the actual tablet itself. So this is a physical tablet sat in front of me, which is good. So we're cleared to EGPH off 27 via the pole 4 Tango and squawk 7612. So 7612. 27 Pole for Tango. Initial altitude is 4,000 feet and frequency 133705 when ready. Great, very good. Very good to get that beforehand. 12370. That's done. Now we can start getting the aircraft set up now. Lovely jubbly. Right, as I say, I'm not an expert by any stretch in the Toliss. I've only been flying it for a month or so, so forgive me, all you seasoned Airbus types out there, if you spot me doing anything wrong. I'm sure there'll be a few things. So just zoom in here so we can see what's going on a little better down on the FMCs. Let's start by getting an ATIS, which probably we'll get, given we have a controller online. So MCDU menu, ATSU, AOC, weather and ATIS. Let's go for that. We'll go for the ATIS first. Can we get it there? Go for the meter, certainly. Okay. I think of course we need to init the flight first, of course we do, yeah. Okay, let's do that then. So, data, so diffsrip init request. So this requests it from SimBrief. Give it just a moment to catch up. That'll all fill out. There we go. We're actually going flight level 200 today. Changed my mind. Okay, and we can go to the flight plan and we can fill in our departure, which today is from 27, so Pole Hill 4 Tango. Now we'll insert that. The arrival at the moment, looking over here, this is a great app as well, yet another SimBrief helper, Yash. This gives us not only the SimBrief plan but also the METAR, which we can actually refresh, which is rather nice. 300 degrees 18, gusting 28 knots in Liverpool today. So our departure is, looking on here, 27 Pole 4 Tango, and then it's an IMPIP 1 Echo into runway 24 in Edinburgh. So, IMPIP 1 Echo is what we need now. Those who are familiar with the Toliss will know. I'll just talk about that in a moment. Actually, it's over the other side, so we'll do that in a moment. I was going to tell you about the VR bug, which only exists for VR users. ILS24, and we want the IMPIP 1 Echo, which is there. No via, and insert that. We now have a flight plan. Let's just go down there, make sure it all looks good. Yep, that looks great. Very good. So hopefully, if we go back here now, I can get the METAR. Here it comes. Very clever that it actually prints it out in the Toliss. That's really, really cool. Here is our METAR. We're going to put in the perf details for Edinburgh anyway. We can change them en route, but at least it gives us something in the box. This is our arrival METAR, QNH1002. Temperature in Edinburgh is 8 degrees. Wind 270 degrees at 9 knots. And that'll do us. Great. So now let's get our perf data. Takeoff data request. It should now allow us to insert that uplink, and there we have our takeoff data all done for us. Fantastic. So that's all good. What do we have here? QNH1009 in Liverpool. Let's go back to our pilot position. QNH1009, so we'll set that in the box. 1009, set, and set. Initial altitude here is 4,000 feet on the SID. That's done. Right, let's get continue now. We've got APU, so let's give ourselves some APU bleed. Ahead of engine start. We can lose the external power. That's gone. We're on the APU. That's all done. And we can lose that now. Fantastic. All good. Off to a good start. So we're up to the before start procedure. So the fuel pumps can all come on. Which they are. Initial altitude is set. Transponder code we were given was 7612. Come over here. 7612. And that's done. Very good. And we can now tune in 133705. One, 3, 3, 7, 0, 5.
Enter 619, yes, you're clear for the RMP 20.
Uh, 122.8 on here, Unicom, just in case we need it.
6 mile Foxtrot speed, 260 knots or less. 260 on mass vision 4 Mike Foxtrot.
And let's get the beacon on.
932, thank you, runway 32, clear takeoff, surface wind is 290 degrees 18, 18 knots. Z12 Tango, contact London Control 120025, bye bye. Contacting 120.025, DC1.
Looks like we're still chopped, and that, for some reason, looks like we're still chopped.
31 Charlie Hotel, descent flight 160.
This is the one of the bugbears of VR. Things always come back at a huge size. So many of us have asked Laminar to do something about that. I don't think we need the tray table out yet, do we?
Contact Scottish Control 133.875, bye bye.
Ground services.
875, many thanks to you, bye bye. X4 Lima, Papa, climb file 370. 37054.
It should be gone.
Vision 4 Mike Delta, contact Scottish 133.875, bye bye. 133.875, Vision 4 Mike Foxtrot, bye bye.
Alright, let's talk to this man.
7 November with you, climbing for flight level 350. 7 November London, roger. It's a Desert 1 Golf arrival. AFM, Desert 1 Golf arrival, shot 7 November. 4 Alpha, descent to 4,000 feet, QNH 1001. 4,000 feet, QNH 1001, shuttle for Alpha.
Brought aircraft type and stand number when ready. We will do that very thing.
London Control, good evening. Shuttle through Charlie flight 140. Charlie, roger. BZ15 Whiskey, you with me? Yeah, BZ15 Whiskey. Hello, descent flight level 80.
Elevator.
Bluebird 1165 when ready, descent flight level 250.
Get a word in edgeways here.
X31 Charlie Hotel, confirm still 300 knots or greater.
Yes, confirming 300 knots, X31 Charlie Hotel.
Easy 28 Echo Bravo, speed 270 knots or less.
270 knots or less, Easy 28 Echo Bravo.
Red 619, runway 20, clear to land, the surface wind 290 degrees, 11 knots after landing, park and choice. Red 619, clear to land, surface winds 290 degrees, 11 knots. Annex 935, climb now, flight level 170. Annex 932 out of Leeds, climb now, flight level 170.
170, channel XP12.
Loading control, hello, run at A Victor Delta with flight level 320.
A Victor Delta London, roger. Channel 4 Alpha, turn right, heading 040 degrees.
Flight heading 040 degrees, Channel 4 Alpha.
London to low, easy 84 Victor, Liverpool Airport, stand 52, PDC clearance received. We're Airbus A321 Neo and ready for push and start.
Easy 84 Victor, push start approved.
Push start approved, 84 Victor. Okay. Start pushback. This is another bugbear of this VR, is that better pushback works, but...
Great news,
What?
Captain. Your tow's coming.
But it works, but you can't tell him the position you want pushed to in VR. That display simply doesn't come up. So you have a problem saying that you have to set the position before you enter VR. That little diagram where you move the aircraft around simply doesn't appear in VR, which is a real shame because the rest of Better Pushback does work. It's just that bit. So you've got to remember to set it. Otherwise, you have to come out of VR. You've got no choice, which is a shame. So engine mode selector is set. We'll start this engine on stand, I think. Engine 2 start.
All right. Looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
Speed at 2912, descent flow 80, speed 250 knots. Alpha 4 Alpha, turn left 010 degrees, descend to 2,000 feet. X31 Charlie Hotel, descent flight level 90, speed 250 knots.
There goes the engine.
Descent to 90.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's connected. Bypass pens inserted. Go and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
Looks like we're still chocked, and I don't know why. I don't think it'll push us, will it, if we're still chocked? Ah, there we go. It needed the parking brake to be
Here comes the
released.
pushback. Line 'em up.
Roger.
Bye-bye.
Good.
Bye-bye. Shuttle 7 November, contact London Control 120.025. Bye-bye.
120.025, thanks for the service. Bye-bye, Shuttle 7 November.
Here's Shanx 54 Lima Papa Direct Homily.
So I've already told Better Pushback. Yes. Engine 2 is started. Good start. Engine 1.
Alpha, turn left 360 degrees. Shamrock 5, Romeo Lima. Looks like Dublin's gone offline now, so it's going to be Unicorn 1228. Bye-bye.
Unicorn 1228, Shamrock 5, Romeo Lima.
This is an old X-Plane 11 scenery here. Again, that gives us a little drop in frames per second. But nothing available for X-Plane 12 yet. At least not that I've seen.
Back corrector.
The push is happening nicely. That's because, as I say, we told it where we wanted to go.
Alpha left through 30 degrees. 330.
The bug I was referring to in VR over here is an EFB. Checklist, landing, takeoff performance, etc. We can't use that because the VR mouse disappears behind it. Do you see that? There's the mouse pointer. There it is there. And watch here, it disappears. So we can press those buttons, but we can't see where we're pressing. So it kind of makes it a little useless.
Yeah, 5 Romeo Lima, it looks like Dublin's offline. In fact, it's not. You can contact Dublin on 121.1.
Yeah, just going to say he just confirmed that he's online. 121 for Shamrock 5 Romeo Lima.
Yeah, shuttle 4 Alpha, turn left 280 degrees, clear Dallas approach 25. Good 2912, report your cleared level to Manchester 11858.
Has he finished our push? Or is he still messing around? No, he's still messing around. Where is he taking us then?
Manchester 11858, bye-bye.
Oh, another few feet. There we are.
Contact Manchester 118.580, bye-bye.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Roger. Okay, so after start, we've got 2 good engine starts.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
APU bleed off, APU coming off.
Charlie, contact Manchester 118.580, bye-bye.
Manchester 118.580, bye-bye.
There's Easy 28 Echo Bravo, report your cleared level to Manchester 118.580, bye-bye.
Turn him down a bit for now.
Station calls push and start, continue on Unicom.
Right, trim wheel down 0.1 and flaps 2.
London control 120.
Trim wheel down 0.1. We are done. Engine mode selected as normal. Speed brakes. There we go.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
Thank you. Pushback crew is done. Takeoff flaps are set. And we'll now do our flight controls. Fully forward, fully back. Fully left. Fully right. Rudder. Fully left. Rudder. Fully right. Flight control page. Weather radar. Put the predictive wind shear on.
London controls now closed. 133.705 now closed. Anyone on this frequency, please switch to Unicom 122. Bye-bye.
Very good. Engine mode selector auto brakes. We need to put in maximum for takeoff, which we have. Takeoff config, you need to tell the cabin that we're ready. Forward. And we'll just reset the rudder trim. Takeoff config check. Normal. Nose light and runway turn off light. Nose light on taxi, runway turn off light is on. And parking brake is set. Affirm. Right, we're ready to go then. So it's 27 departure. In fact, that's quite good that he's gone because we can now blast out past 4,000 feet. Otherwise, we'd be stuck at 4,000 feet on this SID. That's quite useful. Let's see where we are here. Okay. Quite an easy taxi. To the left and down to 27. Yeah, so there we go. Down the left, straight down and 27. All good, we're ready to go. This is useful, that shows us that the controller has in fact gone. That's VAT glasses, a very useful thing to have, shows us the controller's at our particular sector and our altitude. That's all good, so we can start to go, I think. For taxi procedure, parking brake is released. Off we go. Left turn towards runway 27. Lovely. Quick brake check. Brakes left, brakes right. There's the GA parking at Liverpool. Keen Air, Liverpool Flying School. Alpha 2, one more and we're Alpha 1. Holding Alpha 1, parking brake is set. So, before takeoff procedure, lights coming on. One switch that does that, makes it very handy. Seatbelt sign, yep, that's checked. Packs 1 and 2, we're leaving those on. Now we're ready for takeoff. We're on 122.8. Let's just have a little look at this departure. Basically, the departure takes us out and up to 4,000 feet. Now, as there's no controller online, I think we can probably get away with climbing a lot quicker than that, so that's quite useful. Let's have a look here. There it is, 27, out and towards Pole Hill. 4,000 feet at Pole Hill until cleared by ATC, that's fine. So we can assume that we're going to be cleared by ATC above 4,000 feet, so we'll kill the restriction in a moment. Okay, we're ready to go, I think. So transponder is on and squawking, lights are done. We have the flap set, and we're ready to roll. Call on UECOM.
Liverpool traffic. Easy 84 Victor is lining up at 27.
Appear to have 1228 on 2 common frequencies there, we do. Get rid of that one. Could hear ourselves coming back, not ideal. Okay. Clear on finals.
Approaching 27.
As the rain begins.
On runway 27.
Now, what's the weather doing? 302 degrees at 12 knots, so it's not too bad. Just from our right.
Liverpool traffic, Easy 84 Victor departing Pole Hill departure.
Okay. Engine spooling up. %. Forward pressure on the yoke. Hold the centre line. Airspeed is building. Slight aileron into wind. 18 knots, release the back pressure. Not the best centre line holding I've ever seen. V1 and rotate. Up she comes. Gears coming up. Passing 400 feet. Autopilot's engaged. Man toga, SRF nav, climb, auto thrust is blue. Lever climb. Now we can start the acceleration and flap production. And flaps are up. Speed brake. Disarmed. Okay, climbing away, so that's all done on checklist. And it's going to stop our climb at 4,000, so what we're going to do is wind it up to 20. And we go to open climb. Passing 5,000 feet, we can change to standard QNH. As we climb away from Liverpool. Very good. We can go direct to Pole Hill. I think we can now go back to managed climb, if I'm not mistaken. Thrust climb, climb, nav, alt. Looking good, standard QNH. Runway turn off and nose light. That can come off. And that can come. Put that back onto taxi, I think. There we go, all good. some reason I've lost my in-ear little monitors that I have here. Try and sort that out. I think you can still hear me, you can still hear the aircraft sounds. I think that's okay. Going on with those. Yeah, I completely lost my in-ear monitors, so I can't hear anything, so I'll have to put it back onto the speaker, which is not ideal. Not a trauma. We've passed 10,000, so we can get rid of the landing lights. Just leave you with this view for a moment while I have a quick look at what's wrong with these in-ear monitors. Okay, we weren't able to sort that out. Some kind of weird Bluetooth issue going on there, so that's fine. Hopefully I'll be able to hear the ATC when and if they come on. Okay, let's start doing some flying, shall we? Get rid of the Liverpool charts now and move on to EGPH, Edinburgh, and we'll take the arrival chart, the IMPIP, take ILS, .24, and we'll take the airfield chart. Great, looking good. Where are we in the world at the moment? Let's have a look. Just near the Yorkshire Moors, I think. Let's just check that there are no VATSIM controllers we need to talk to. That's more important. We're kind of straying into this one in a moment. Who's that? Yeah. Scottish Control 133875. Let's get him ready.
Logan 708, descend to altitude 3,000 feet.
Down to altitude 3,000, Logan 708.
Blue Max 9451, turn left heading 280 degrees when established on the localizer runway 25, descend on the glide.
Left 280 and when established, glide follow plan, Blue Max 9451.
Shuttle 26 Juliet, roger, taxi stand 10.
Up to 1 by the chance,
Shuttle 6 Juliet, yep, there's no problems, taxi stand 21.
2 thank you. Hey, EGPH, Mike, just check the local QNH for Edinburgh is 1002.
EG258 to my A-firm, it's 1002, and turn left heading 005.
Okay, top of descent, 66 miles.
Turn left heading 005, EG258. 2234 Henry requesting push and start.
United 2234, push and start approved.
Thank you. Did you say 335 EG258?
005.
05 EG258.
Looking at 708, turn left heading 270 degrees, when established on the localizer runway 24, descend on the glide.
Ah, Samuel Hogg, I can just see your message there. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. I don't know when you sent that message. Have you just taken off? Yeah, we've well, we're kind of halfway to Edinburgh right now.
270 degrees to establish.
So all good.
270 to establish, Logan 708.
Blue Max 9451, surface wind.
Hopefully it's all coming across on the stream nicely. I've lost my my earphone audio for now, but we'll try and live with it. But thank you, Samuel Hogg, for coming online. Right, let's talk to this controller.
82 taxiing on Alpha for holding point Delta 1 runway 24.
That's A22, Scottish Control, via Delta 1, runway 24, clear for takeoff, the surface wind 270 degrees at 10 knots.
Clear for takeoff, 262.
Scottish Control, hello, EZ84 Victor, flight level 200.
EZ84 Victor, Scottish Control, hello, unfortunately I'm going to be closing in just a few seconds, so continue with Unicom 122.8, I'm sorry.
Not a problem, have a good evening, cheers.
Okay, that saves us a problem.
Up to 1, so now thank you for your answer. Have a great rest of your evening and Merry Christmas.
So, we don't need any of this then for now.
Thank you much, 2234 Heavy requesting, can I just get the takeoff and departure runway? Is it runway 23, correct?
United 2234, affirm, it's runway 23.
Thank you, have a good night.
Sky Control, good evening.
So, back to Unicom.
Whiskey QNH 102, flight level 340.
I think there's a tower on in Edinburgh, so let's have a little look for that. EGPH, we have an ATIS, we have a ground, but we don't have a tower. Okay, fair enough. So we can make our own descent planning then, given we don't have to talk to the controllers. 51 miles to top of descent, so I think our limit here, in terms of the constraint, let me just put the constraints on here. I think our constraint limit is, if memory serves, flight level 70 at Tartan, indeed it is. So, there it is there, flight level 70 at Tartan, so we can descend under our instinct to flight level 70 when ready. All looking good though. Transition altitude should be 5,000, I think. 6,000, beg your pardon. And our minimums at Edinburgh will be 300 feet, so we can put that into the numbers. Perf, next phase. Next phase, Barrow can now be 300. And that's done. Great. Top of descent now, 44 miles away. One of the interesting things, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I'm very new to the Airbus. I'm a Boeing man and a Challenger 650 man, but it's very interesting that even if you wind down the altitude in readiness for the top of descent, you physically have to make the button press yourself. Unless anybody else knows better, that seems to be the Airbus way, which is quite surprising given how automated the aircraft is. I may have that wrong, but I haven't found any other way to make the aircraft commence the descent without you, once you've wound the altitude down, obviously. Interesting. There may be a way, I just don't know what it is. So there we are, heading off towards Edinburgh, passing just through the Lake District. Beautiful area of the world. There's our top of descent, in fact, there at InRev, by the look of it. So we're going to be landing on runway 24 at Edinburgh, which is here. And then when we get there, we're going to vacate at Bravo, hopefully, and then taxi to Alpha 12, I believe, is the stop point that we're cleared to. Did see a real world approach into Edinburgh the other day, and they were saying that they showed it on a chart, but they had different charts from these ones, and I can't see where it says it on this chart. But what they basically were saying was that you vacate at Bravo, and your then clearance limit in the taxi, I believe, was Alpha 12, and if you vacate at here at Alpha 1, your clearance limit was Alpha 8. Pretty sure that's what they were saying, but I can't see that written anywhere on these charts. Interestingly, one would have thought that it would be on this chart, if anywhere. I have tried to find it, but can't seem to find it. Let's have a look. 10.9A. I wonder if that contains it. 10.9A. I think I've looked at this before. Arrival. Till the aircraft is established on taxiway Alpha and past the coded taxiway centre line. That's nothing to do with it. Yeah, I don't see that. Don't see where it says that, but he certainly had it on his chart, so we'll find out when we get there, no doubt. Anyway, nearly ready to descend. Should be appearing on this chart now. Here we come, towards IMPIP. Let's refresh the METAR here. 270 degrees, 10 knots. Just check we've got those numbers and they haven't changed too much. 270 at 9, that'll do us. 1002 on the QNH. It's now 1002. Yep, that's correct. All good. So we can wind the altitude now back to 7. But as mentioned there, the aircraft doesn't do that descent on its own, which is interesting. So let's do our descent preparation procedure. Transition altitude we've done, MDA we've done, VAP we've done. Auto brakes we'll set to medium. Altitude bug and altitude button. We'll do the altitude button next. "19 miles, yeah, the top of descent is in rev. Beautiful. Looking nice outside. This is, by the way, auto ortho. For those who are not familiar with X-Plane, that's kind of as good as it gets. There's a thing called Ortho for XP, which requires you to download a heroic amount of terabytes of data. I did do that in the past. Auto-ortho gives you the same result, or pretty much the same result, with hardly any download needed at all, and it just runs in the background, so it's rather good, and it's ortho scenery. As you can see, looks pretty good from up here. Edinburgh ground, still no tower. There's Gretna on the map there, where people get married in Scotland, or used to, I don't know if they still do. They run off to get married in Gretna Green. That's it there, in the just above the centre of the map. And that's the A74 M6, the main motorway road from England to Scotland. Who just in fact crossed the Scottish border in real life. Here comes that top of descent. We're 10 miles away, so I can now push manage descent, which I will do, and the aircraft should commence its descent when it's ready. We now have descent annotated. Guess it won't do anything till it gets to in rev. Till it captures the path, in effect. As I say, not an Airbus pilot normally, so this is all learning for me. So there's in rev. Speed, descent, nav. Are you going to descend? Oh, there you go, there's 70 just been enunciated. Does that mean you're going to go and meet it? Thrust idle. One can assume you're now to descend. There we go, lovely. So that's how the Airbus does it. Very good. So altitude button, speed brakes as needed. Barometer passing transition altitude, roger that. So we're going to self-position then, by the look of it. No controllers. Yeah, near ground at Edinburgh. Okay, so we're going to self-position. There's our clearance limit, tartan. That's looking good. So we should meet a restriction of 230 knots and flight level 70 at tartan. Tuning the ground anyway, 121755. It's ready to go. So it's looking to slow to 250, flight level 70. There we go, there's a good look at auto-ortho there. Looks good. Looks really good. That's pretty impressive actually, considering that's loading on the fly. And it's not having to download terabytes of data. Okay, so this is looking good. And with the 250 knot point, so it'll slow to 230 by tartan. It's going to have to do some slowing down. I may give it a bit of a hand here. Some speed brake. I think I'm going to manually set the speed. 230. There's flight level 100. We'll have the lights on now. Looking good. And we'll continue our descent. So we can leave tartan on that heading, that's good. Let's close the intercept line up and intercept the ILS should be at 3,000. We'll come down to 3. Might put that on a heading 030. We're on a heading and a VS. .220 knots. We can put the first stage of flap in. Okay, transition altitude, barometer 1002. LS, activate the approach phase. Approach checklist complete. Speed brake stood out. Yep. I'm trying to help you out here. There we are, on a kind of downwind. And in a second we're going to do a direct to CI-24. Direct to, and we can now go manage speed. Manage speed. Managed altitude. ILS is ITH 108.9. ITH 108.9, 16 miles to run. Our VAT was 143. Altstar, 3,000 feet approaching. About to commence our left turn to final. That's Edinburgh Castle, I believe, up on the hill there.
Edinburgh traffic, TBM November 9070, Papa taking off runway 24 southeast departure, Edinburgh.
There's our glide slope. On the approach, glide slope localizer in blue. And one more stage of flap. And we'll go manual speed of 180 knots. Commencing a left turn any moment.
Edinburgh traffic, easy 807, Golf taking off runway 24, because on 1 Charlie departure, Edinburgh.
Edinburgh traffic, easy 84 Victor, just becoming established, 11 miles, runway 24.
Okay, so there's the turn. Beautiful approach. Look at that, absolutely gorgeous. Lock star. Localizer captured, glide slope coming down nicely. One more stage of flap.
EC807 Golf, airborne through 1,200 feet.
And we're descending on the glide slope. 8 miles, let's take the gear. And let's have managed speed. Slowing now, and we'll take full flap. Altimeter, flaps, gear lever, speed brakes need to be armed. They now are. Landing checklist complete. Go around is 3,000 feet, which is already set.
2,000.
VAP 143. So flaps are full, speed brake is armed, landing lights are on, gear is down, 3 greens. We're Cat 3 and the barrow is set at 300 feet.
Edinburgh traffic, easy 84 Victor, 4 miles to land, 24.
So we can talk to ground once we're down. Okay, let's disconnect the autopilot. Aircraft is mine. Keep it on the glide slope and the localizer.
1,000.
Got a wind from the right.
Approaching 2-4.
On glide, on localizer. 2 reds, 2 whites. Speed's good.
500. 400.
That proves why it's useful to be on Unicom, so that guy knew that I was on finals there. Otherwise he'd have had no idea. Okay, look at the pappies now, slightly low.
Minimum.
Land.
100.
Ryanair 4324 lined up at runway 20.
50. 40. 30. 20.
Ready for
Retard.
departure.
Retard. 10. 5.
Thousand 200 meters remaining.
Get us off at Bravo.
Easy 84 Victor, Edinburgh traffic, vacated 24.
Edinburgh traffic, flyer 5 Charlie, on the 12 DME arc for ILS, runway 24, descending altitude 4,000 feet.
Okay, be prepared to write some stuff down now, I guess.
Edinburgh ground, hello, Easy 84 Victor just vacated, Alpha 9.
Easy 84 Victor, Edinburgh, hello, taxi stand 9er, or correction, 1 Alpha via Alpha and Echo.
Stand 1 Alpha via Alpha and Echo for Easy 84 Victor.
Right, let's see where that is. It's quite a useful little chart. This is little nav map, which is actually quite useful for taxiing. Stand 1 Alpha via Alpha and Echo. That's there then. Okay. Okay, after landing checklist, speed brakes are disarmed. Weather radar we didn't use. Flaps transponder TCAS. Strobes, left and right landing lights and nose light. You can do all of the lights in a oneer. Like that. Very helpful. Get the APU going. Not waiting long enough there. There we go. APU's going. That's why there are 2 pilots on aircraft. Stand 1 Alpha is at the end there, so it's a right turn here.
Easy 59 Bravo Golf, sadly nothing further, merging Unicom 122.8, be advised, 1 aircraft, 5 mile final, have a nice Christmas. Unicom 122.8, the visual of the aircraft on the final, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to Easy 59 Golf, correction 59 Bravo Golf, bye-bye.
3 Alpha. Two Alpha. Two. Assuming 1 Alpha is ahead of us. It is. One Alpha. We should have a little marshaller man. Someone's just brought out a new plug-in for X-Plane which gives you a marshaller or one of those electronic guidance things. So there's our little marshaller man. Brilliant. That's it. Stop. Okay. We've done all that. APU on the bleed. On. Engine masters we can shut off. Bit fiddly these lights in VR, I have to say. I have got them on a little switch, but fuel pumps can all come off. Okay, that's it. Thank you for joining me. I'll just say goodbye to this controller.
EG84 Victor is on stand. Thank you for your help and have a lovely Christmas.
EG84 Victor, thank you for flying to Edinburgh, and you too, have a nice New Year as well.
Thank you for joining us on this first attempt at flying VR with the Toliss A321neo. Got there in the end. I lost my earphones halfway through it, so that caused me a little bit of grief, but I think everything worked quite well. Frames per second, as I keep mentioning and explaining, are not great. The Toliss I'm finding definitely worse than the Challenger. Finding it a little more heavy on the frames per second than the Challenger was. But, you know, it can only get better. I attended an X-Plane seminar thing the other night online. They are doing a lot to the sim. They're not mentioning VR very much at the moment, but us VR diehards are certainly making them aware that we would love some better performance, basically, in VR. As you can see, the anti-aliasing is incredibly poor on a sunny day. Shimmering away, as you can see, out the window. Let's just have a quick look outside for you. This again is an old X-Plane 11 Edinburgh scenery as far as I remember. Pretty good, actually. But of course it doesn't do the X-Plane 12 stuff, like the water on the ground and all of that kind of thing. But pretty good scenery nonetheless. There we are. So thank you. We'll leave you here at Edinburgh. If we don't talk before Christmas and New Year, have a lovely Christmas. And thank you to all those who've been watching the channel. It is lovely to have some support. Much appreciated. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.